That's a very hard act to follow, Rita. And Marina. This is my opportunity to speak because I didn't have an opportunity to be on the video, but I think it's going to be on this tape right now. So forgive me, I have a bunch of pages. I just wanted to make sure. No, Rita, please stay.
I'll sit here.
Okay. So it was with great pleasure and quite a little pang in my heart that I welcome all of you here today to celebrate Marina. Because today's her actual last day. I mean, she walks out this door and that's it, 39 years. Almost to the day, because June 16th, 1978 was her start date here at Parkdale. And I've had the pleasure of working with Miranda for 16 years now, and it's been a great pleasure. You know, sometimes you spend so much time at work that you spend more time with your work family than you do sometimes with your home family. So I really wanted to start by thanking Marina's parents, and her husband Timo, and her daughters Amanda and Christina for sharing you with us all these years. As Rita said, Parkdale Library, Parkdale Community, it's a very interesting place to work, and it's kind of known in the system as one of the more challenging places to work because of our diverse clientele. But it's also one of the most rewarding. Many staff pass through Parkdale, and I think there's almost 100 people here today, and many of you have worked here or certainly done extra hours here today and had an opportunity to work with Marina. And some people stay, like you, Marina. Marina worked here almost all of her 39 years. She had brief stints at Lillian and Bloor and Forest Hill, I believe, but most of the time you were working right here at Parkdale and working with this community. And she's worked with many of you today. And Rita's mentioned her experience, but one of the questions on the table was how many job levels has Marina had? Well, she started as a page, and then she was a senior page. You were wondering why I was asking you this, right? Clerical, senior clerical, principal branch assistant, senior branch assistant, library assistant, senior library assistant, and finally, for many years now, an operations supervisor. So that's 10 different jobs at the library. Marina moved to Canada from Portugal when she was 12, and she started working at the library when she was 14. And she lived right across the street. 16, sorry. What am I going to do without her? I don't know. She went to Parkdale Public School. She went to Parkdale Collegiate. She started working here when she was 16 with Rita. And things were really different then. There was a lot more staff at the library in those days, I'll tell you that. But something was the same. The library was a gathering place for the community. Many of the community agencies that still operate in Parkdale actually were here in the library, and Marina worked with a lot of them in the library, and then they grew their wings and spread out. PCIC is still here, and Marina worked with PCIC in her capacity as a library staff, and spent much time there helping people in the community, particularly people of Portuguese background, doing translation services and so on with them, helping them in their own language. And so she's gotten to know many, many people over the years in the community. And you're known to the customers, Marina, for always going that extra mile. They know you for your friendly manner, your big smile, and your little jokes. And you're known to staff for these same qualities. Your welcoming nature, your empathy, your good humor, and your, goofy jokes. Ask her later about the joke she pulled on HR just the other day. Okay? She was talking about rescinding her retirement, and I kind of wish that wasn't a joke. Marina left her mark on the community and the library system in many ways, but I think one of the most significant contributions she made is the building of the TPL staff team, not just the Parkdale staff team. As page supervisor and then operations supervisor, Marina had the opportunity to train and select and train some of the best candidates for the Toronto Public Library, for Parkdale, the Bloor District, and then they all went out into the system. So many of them still work for TPL, and many of them are in the room today. And they'll thank you for bringing them on to TPL. I was trying to figure out how many page applications she might have looked at over the years. I don't know, I really couldn't, but I think my best guesstimate was about 5,000, I'm not sure. That may well be an underestimate. Marina, you're one of the most dedicated and responsible people I've ever worked with, and I've relied on this over the years. You're a leader who leads by example, and you're not afraid of anything. A bird in the library? Get Marina a blanket. A flood in the washroom? Get her a mop. No book trucks? Get out the own shelf. Too many boxes? You can clear them faster than anybody. A fight in the corner? Give them the stink eye and the boot. And Marina, you were always flexible to change your schedule to accommodate the branch needs, unless your family needed you more or there was a trip to Portugal planned. And you have an amazing memory for all things Parkdale, and I've relied really heavily on this, way too heavily, because I know that in the days to come I'm really going to be wondering why I'm not going to be able to email you in Portugal or phone you or anything like that, because you remember everything about this place, where things are. I haven't had to remember anyway, so it's really going to be a big goal for me. Another thing I was really surprised to come to know about Marina is how very brave she is. And that walk with her equally brave daughters around the outside of the CN Tower, wow. That was incredibly brave. I can't even watch the video of it. Really, I can't. So no wonder you find it so easy to give the stink eye out those customers or problem customers. And you're quick to action. Whenever somebody has a health emergency, Marina's a first aider and she's the first one in there helping somebody who needs help and maybe medical assistance. So you're really like Superwoman some days, and it's been wonderful to work with you and watch you in action. You've been by my side ever since I came to Parkdale Library, and really things are going to be different going forward. For one thing, I won't be called to the phone to answer a call from Timo, because somebody thought she said Miranda instead of Marina. And because customers were always getting us mixed up, and it's true. Because, generally dark hair, glasses. And did you know I changed? I changed. Most days, Marina and I would walk in and we'd be wearing the same color scheme. Now, I had Sarah sent me a picture earlier today of what you were wearing, and I thought it was navy, so I kind of blew it. But every day, Marina would walk in and we would find that we'd be wearing the same color clothes. And if we weren't, one of us would say, well, I had my black pants on, but I realized they were kind of dirty, so I put my blue pants on instead. Anyway, so today, Marina, I wanted just to make sure we match on this very last day. I think I've covered all the 10 things you should know about Marina, and cutting the cake will answer the last question. So finally, Marina, I'd like to say to you on behalf of the Toronto Public Library, Parkdale Library, and all the people in the room, and all the people who have ever worked for you, a really heartfelt thank you for everything that you've done. It's hard to express how much we've enjoyed working with you, I've learned from your example, and how very much we will miss you. And how very, very much we wish you all the best in this next chapter of your life to go follow your own dreams. And we have a few things now we'd like to pass on to you as a part of that journey. And if I can ask Mary to come up.